A very good morning to Minister Maynier, David Maynier, joining us via StreamYard on the line. And thank you so much for your time this morning, Minister.
Hi, good morning, and good morning to all your listeners. Delighted to be able to join you.
It is so good. So it's been a massive announcement and lots of excitement because the Western Cape government announcing and saying, you know what, we want to make a real difference with regard to special needs education in our province. Please just tell us a little bit more about this and what it is all about.
Well, shortly after being appointed, I embarked on, if you recall, what I called a listening and learning program. And I spent some time with our special needs schools and spent time speaking to parents with children who have special needs. And I remember a moment when I spent some time with a parent whose child had ASD, autism spectrum disorder. And she told me a story about the fact that it had taken her almost 5 years to get the kind of support her child required. And it became apparent at that point that there is a fairly significant backlog in terms of placement for learners with autism spectrum disorder. And it's precisely for that reason in the last budget that we have decided, as you said, to make a real difference by allocating an additional 214.4 million rand over 3 years. That's 68 million rand this year, 71.4 million rand next year, and 75 million rand in the year after that, in order to better support learners with special needs, including specifically learners with autism spectrum disorder.
Sure, that is brilliant. And it's something close to my heart because my youngest daughter is on the autism spectrum herself. So really fantastic that our province is focusing on that. Now, you touched on, in a broad sense, what that 68 million is going to be used for. But what will us as parents of special needs kids, how will we experience that 68 million? What are the things that are going to be put in place?
Well, we are intend in the first instance to put up 2 new schools for learners with special needs. We also want to add an additional 28 classrooms to existing special schools, but also public ordinary schools and inclusive schools, so that we can expand the number of places. And then, of course, we will also invest in further support, additional teachers, additional teaching assistants, and of course additional therapists, so that we have the ultimately are able to expand the number of places at special needs schools, which obviously would be best positioned to provide support for learners with high support needs, but also expand the number of classrooms at public ordinary schools or at inclusive schools, which would be able to then provide better support for learners with lower support needs. And then, of course, also a significant investment, as I said, in teachers, teaching assistants, and therapists, so that we're also able to put up outreach teams who are then able to better support learners, particularly at public ordinary schools and at inclusive schools in the Western Cape.
That is incredible, Minister David Maynier. And yeah, I must say, well done to you and your team for putting this together. It really is an amazing and credible program as well.
Thank you. I mean, I think that this has been long overdue, and we certainly, as I've said, are going to invest heavily. I think it's important to understand that the funds that we've allocated, of course, are in addition to what we are already spending in the budget, and I hope that it will make a real difference for learners who are on the autism spectrum disorder in the Western Cape.
We really do hope so too. And what I love is that one of our listeners has sent through a short message just saying, look at autism with your heart. your eyes might miss something. That is so profound and so on point. Minister David Maynier, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for what you're doing to truly make a difference in the families and the lives of people who have either a loved one or who are dealing with autism. It's really been great to chat to you, and we look forward to hearing more good news coming from your office. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you. You too. There we had Minister David.